Good afternoon. It's Connecting Communities with Brian and Ryan. Hey, Ryan.
Good morning, Brian.
Good. It is actually morning today.
It is morning.
It is actually morning. Usually we don't get into the morning show, so here we are. Today's guests are Chelsea. You probably know her if you are, there she is to my right, maybe to your left or down. I don't know where she is on your screen. But is she down, Ryan? You'll know her all about that self-care, body care. Or maybe she teaches your kids because, Ryan, she's a teacher too.
Oh, where
I am.
Right? Hey, Chelsea, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me join. I'm so excited.
Yeah, me too. So, Chelsea, you've come into a couple of our meetings, and you're always in your car. Is that your spot? Is that where you do your online meetings, is in the car?
Well, okay, so I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, and they get crazy and they don't understand that mommy's working. And so since I don't have access to my classroom, I just have to go mobile and go somewhere.
I love it. One of my favorite stars is Kelly Clarkson. Love her, love her, love her. And she does her shows in her bathroom because of the cabin, because that's the only place that she can, be able to do that. So before we dive in here, I do want to make sure that we do list out our sponsors for today's show because we appreciate them. I know I'm looking down because I'm pulling out my phone because I had to maneuver myself around today. So I
very casual, Brian.
Here we go. Healthy Habits with Jason Anus with Remax. We also have Pet Peeves with Miss Abby's Pet Treats, which is pretty good. Love those dog treats. And then last but not least, we have Best Business Bets with Tony Woods at Elite Bookkeeping Plus. She is my bookkeeper. She needs to be your bookkeeper. Bookkeeping. Let's talk about that real quick, and then we're gonna get about who, what, where, when about you, Chelsea. Is bookkeeping on the same level of a tax accountant? Ryan, what's your thoughts on this? You have somewhat of a tax background. I think that's probably one of the confusing things that people don't realize when they're looking at small businesses.
I would say they're related, but tax accounting is a whole nother beast. So right. I actually used to want to go into accounting, and I feel like tax accounting kind of falls into its own category. Like it's so much different. It's not. I don't want to say it's not like accounting for a business, but it's so different.
I look at it being the chapters of the book, meaning the bookkeeping makes it all nice and in your tables of contents, and then you have your tax accountant who makes sense of all of those things and put those into place.
Yeah, it's almost like an accountant like you or I who uses QuickBooks or whatever program people may use for a small business, big business, or whatever. We're kind of like the people that write the story, and then the tax accountants are the ones they're like the editors. They come back and they proofread it and make sure everything makes sense.
True story. So let's talk about Chelsea being a teacher first. Talk to me about that, Chelsea, because I tried this whole schooling thing week 1. It was unsuccessful. And I'm that overachiever parent. Like, I want to make sure that, we do this. Here we are. It was so unsuccessful. My poor kid, I don't even think he has actually really told me how unsuccessful it is. But we've had some open conversations. Week 2, he said, has been much better. So I was very appreciative of week 2. And I thought I was doing good, Chelsea, because I was taking a lunch, right? I went ahead and made sure that we had gym and art. Like, I was putting these things in, but, we were 8-hour. Chelsea, tell me how to be more successful.
Oh, so you have older kiddos, though, right? Like, how old are yours?
Jackson Roberts, 8. He'll be 9 in 20 days.
Okay. Well, that's the thing. So I'm a preschool teacher, so I teach 4- and 5-year-olds, but I have taught all the way up to 3rd grade. So, but here's what I'm telling my parents, like my preschool parents.
Sure.
Because I'm still keeping connected with them, and because of our day and age, we get to connect with them in different social media ways. So I'm telling them, don't worry if you can't do school at home. Like, don't worry. Even the homeschool parents that teach at home on a regular basis, like I was homeschooled all of my life. But even those parents, yes, they don't do 6, 7 hours of solid school every day. I mean, there might be some academics where they sit down and they do 20 minutes of some math curriculum or 20 minutes of reading a different book and then doing like a book report or some kind of experience with it and some kind of curriculum, but then it's broken up into field trips and different different hands-on activities or different things. So it can be broken up. It does not have to be this crazy, horrible thing. And you guys also, sometimes parents are getting stressed out because they're like, oh my gosh, I have to do 7 hours of school and I could never do homeschooling. But just know this is not like homeschooling. This is like crisis schooling. So
Yeah.
totally different. Crisis schooling, what we're doing, it's stressful. It's it can be traumatic. You don't know what you're doing. You're like the
Tears
kids.
were shed. We shed some tears here at the Roush House week 1.
Yeah,
Okay, him and me. Okay, I mean, it was, and then week 2, I'm like, I'm sorry, I was so bad. Yesterday we went and got a bicycle, so we rode the bikes a little bit. We cut it into 3 hours. I'm Sylvania School Systems. Thank you. We have day by day, project by project.
I was just going to ask, did teachers
1, 2, 3,
provide
4, do these 4 things, and they
I
have
was just going to ask,
stress.
did teachers provide like a schedule of like to keep the kids on routine? So like at, within these hours, you might want to be doing this. Oh, it's, time for lunch, have a recess. Like, how did they do
They
it?
haven't been that direct with us because I think that would add more pressure if we were now timed. Okay. You got to remember, most people that are at home, I don't know. You know what? Actually, I stand corrected. I don't know that. I was just about to say most people that are home are used to already working from home, so they're multitasking, but probably not. They're not used to being home either at this point in time. So their schedules are just as blasé and crazy as the others. Anyway, homeschooling.
So give yourself some grace. It's okay. It does not have to look like a regular school day, and break it up. And of course, these are your kiddos. Teachers, I mean, they're called our kiddos, but these are your personal kids. So give each other grace. Just say, hey, I messed up. Let's do this over again.
Yep.
You don't have to. You don't have to make it look like a regular school.
Well, I feel better as I'm watching TikTok and I'm seeing these parents that are also crashing down and crying. So it's great. I'm not the only one. But I think as parents, that's what we want, right? We want to be this whole big thing. But at the end of the day, parenting is about not being successful all the time.
One thing in talking to a bunch of people that might be helpful, I don't obviously know what you guys are doing for Jackson, but a lot of people have said they found success where they have a separate place for them to do schoolwork or even work. So make sure that they're not doing their schoolwork in front of the TV in the living room, because that's also where they play. So they're going to be distracted and have that mindset of okay, this is playtime. Set I don't know if it's a bedroom, an office space, or wherever aside. And when they're there, they know that's for work, that's for homework.
No, I think that's a great idea. We had 2 offices in our family room. We're very fortunate to have an extra kind of room to hang out where Susan had always worked from. Well, now with both of us working from home, we split that up and we had to move some stuff around, and the table is a great spot. So that's kind of where he's been, in that family room area. No, I think putting those, it's like in marketing, you want to be in front of the right audience, right? Mm-hmm. Same thing with you're successful in schooling and so forth. You want to make sure you set yourself up, which goes to show you on TV shows that I'm watching, I don't understand how in these tiny houses they have these workable spaces for that. But anyway, that's a whole other subject. Chelsea, so we talked about your teaching. How long have you been teaching?
I've actually been teaching about 12 years now. Okay. I don't know. I've lost track. I think between 10 and 12 years. Okay.
And you prefer the preschool kindergarten versus that 3rd grade?
Yes. Oh, yes. I do not have the patience. for the older kids, and teachers that teach older kids say, I don't have the patience for the younger kids. So it's a totally different kind of patience for
I think
different.
knowing your strengths as well as your areas of opportunity, and just knowing that right off the bat, is, like for me, I am not a hands-on worker. Like I couldn't work in a factory, just couldn't. Okay, it's just too. I just couldn't. It's not my success factor. So I think knowing that is huge. I think that makes it a better teacher.
Question for you, Chelsea. Do you think that what we're going through
I don't know why I'm leaning into you.
Do you think what we're going through right now is going to change teaching going forward after all this? So, like, do you think that this has kind of shown maybe some flaws in teaching and curriculum? And, like, for instance, like in college, a lot of your stuff is already done online. So, like, you go to your lectures in person, but all your homework and assignments are done online, submitted online. So, like, I don't want to say the transition was easy, but I want to say it was easier than high school and like down, because I feel like high school, junior high, elementary school, a lot of it is very paper packet based. Like I'm sending you home with a worksheet or paper. So do you think that maybe like the older grades, like 7th and up, or even 5th and 6th, that can function technology will kind of maybe transition more to an electronic way of teaching?
That was a long question, Ryan.
I've thought about it for a while.
I'm like, that's a come on. Like I've asked 15 questions, but you just do one big one. And Chelsea, please answer that.
So, I was going to start by saying there's a lot that goes into that question, is because I've been doing a lot of research, and teachers during this, and administrators too, during this whole situation, are doing a lot of research and trying to figure out what's the best way to approach this, coming out of it, what has worked, different things like that, and then for the different age ranges. But remember, with this, you also have to think of demographics. You have to think about resources that the parents have available to them. Like my school district that I work with, they're very at-risk parents and families, and a lot of them don't even have internet access at home, not to speak of their own computers or devices to work on. So yes, parents have their smartphones, but to really be doing that devoted school time, a lot of times, I mean, the parents are using their phones for their work and things like that. And so our school district is still having to send a lot of the paper pencil activities home. But other more affluent school districts are just sending tablets home. They're sending the different.
They reached out and said, hey, who does not have a Chromebook? And anyone that did not have a Chromebook went ahead and they got a pickup. We had to do it last Friday. We had to drive around the school, couldn't get out of the car. They put it in our trunk.
You know what I would think would be smart for some of these tech companies that are multi-million-dollar companies, billion-dollar companies. I think a good CSR practice for them would be to provide like maybe their least expensive tablet, computer, laptop, some sort to students to make this possible. I mean, just talk about like the impact that would have on learning. I feel like they can.
I was actually, it's funny you say that. I was thinking, how can I reach out to any of my friends in that IT world and say, hey, why don't you give out a free like a CRM, like a project planner, like your Wonder Lists or those kind of things. And, build one that's good and friendly for kids because they're those visual people as well, right? Mm-hmm. Very similar to like the Wonder List or that Kanban view where they can maneuver and move things around as their tasks.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see if that happens. So I want to hear about your other side project that your other passion is, your skincare. Talk to me about that, Chelsea.
Yeah, so I actually only started in this business about a year ago. So in June, it will actually be my 1-year anniversary. But I started using the products for about 2 years before that. So for a while, I've just known that you just have to be aware of the different products you put on your body, the different things that are in your home, the different chemicals we use, all of it. It's really scary what they allow like us to use on our body, in our shampoos, in our cosmetics, in our lotions, men, your colognes, just all kinds of beauty products. And then
Well,
like your household.
not to cut you off, but one of my
Sure.
fears is in 3 months, what is all of the sanitizer going to do to our hands? And
I know.
that's not even the sanitizer. What about like all the smelly sanitizers from Bath and Body? I mean, you have all of the, I want to say preservatives. You have all these ingredients in there. So
Mhm.
can you answer that or touch base on that or?
Yep. So a lot of our products are found, or a lot of products that are found in like beauty care products and the different compounds and chemicals, they are found in like cleaning products, and they're connected to like all these things. They're connected to cancer, to low birth rates, different things like learning disabilities or autism, or different things. They really are scientifically connected to a lot of these disorders and different health issues that we have. And so a lot of times people are like, oh my gosh, why are we so much sicker now than generations past? And a lot of times it really does um, go into the different chemicals we allow in our home, and then some different other things that I won't touch on here, such as like immunizations and things, but I won't touch on that here. But anyway, so a huge reason that our immune systems are down are because of all the chemicals and crud that we either put on our bodies or have around our homes, which is really scary. So for a while, I had really been looking into some healthier things, but also even in my 20s, through my 20s and on, like I had been losing hair. Like I had been balding. Like my poor husband, the last few years, he's like, you're going to be bald by the time you're 40. And I was scared too. Like I had such thin hair. Like I would just have clumps fall out in the shower, and it's not good. I mean, for women too, when we have so much pride and so much self-confidence revolve around our hair and the way we look and all that, it is a scary prospect to be bald by 40. So, um, so I had looked into some other like just hair care lines and beauty lines, and I had just never liked them enough to try them or anything like that. And when this is about maybe 6 years ago now, I worked with a friend in Wisconsin. We actually worked in a daycare together, and at that point, I was working with babies and toddlers. So we worked there together, and then for about a year, and then I moved away, got married, and all that jazz. But I stayed with friends with her, and I had been seeing that she had started these new natural hair care products, and she was in business with this company that was just really successful. It was new, but it was really successful. Just um, and their main thing is anti-aging and hair regrowth products, and um like she had just had a lot of success and different things, and she kind of asked me like, hey, do you want to try these products? And for a little bit I said, no, I'm okay. But then I had my first son, Noah. He's 4 now. Had him, and so I had already been thinning, right? And then postpartum, if you guys don't know, postpartum hair loss is horrible, right? So, are you guys both married and have kids? Do you?
Married kid, Ryan is 23, no kids, not married.
Ryan, your eyes got real big. You were like, no. Okay, so you might learn though eventually that women, a lot of times after kids, they lose a lot of hair. And so, on top of like the little sleep, on top of a brand new baby, on top of all that, and
I
then
was gonna say,
losing
is
your,
it because of the kid or is it the stress after having kids? And they're
probably
like,
all
we're
of it,
balling out.
it's probably all of it. So, one fun fact is that when you're pregnant, you don't lose um, the normal amount of hair that you would normally use or lose. You just actually, there's all kinds of hormones going through your body, and so you actually don't lose your hair. But then after you have a baby, then it all falls out. Okay. So, which isn't fun, but I felt like I had an excess of hair loss. And so I was kind of panicking, and I went back to my friend who I worked with and I said, "Yeah, I will start using some of these hair products that you would say regrow hair and you do it in a natural way, and there's no chemicals and none of the crud that are in like drugstore products." So I tried them and I love them. And I was literally like, I have pictures where I had no hairline here and then big old patches here and then like thinning. So it
Oh
was
wow.
crazy. And then it regrew back my hair. So of course I love the products. And then this last um, this last fall we added on skincare. So anti-aging and naturally based plant-based skincare, which so all of it, hair care and beauty, um, is projected to be like $105 billion business by 2024. Right now I think it's about 90 some billion right now. And so even right now in a time where a lot of industries are just lagging or even going down or just kind of stagnant. Let's see, the first 5 days of April, my team actually, the whole business, but my team actually set a record and we sold 1 million in sales in the first 5 days of April. And so,
If we were professional, this is where I would have like a drum roll going on.
right,
But
yes.
we're not professional here, right, Ryan? No.
So we are a 5-year-old company, and they actually just opened up profit shares for a lot of the my partners. That's what I am, and so they closed it up again, but last year they opened it back up just because it's a really generous company. And so we're 5 years old now, and they're projecting that we're going to be growing at the speed of, say, Amazon or Google. Like, that's how quickly we're growing. We're actually the #1 hair care brand in the world right now. So
You have not mentioned who you are yet.
I'm gonna
so
take a guess. Can I take a guess?
You're not going to
yeah,
get it, but go ahead.
what
You
is
don't think
it?
so?
Nope.
Is it Monet?
It is.
Brian.
How did you know that?
Brian. Come on, Brian. I'm 23 years old. Do you know how many of my friends are in this? And she probably knows most of them too, I bet.
Oh,
Because you guys have conferences and stuff that are local, right?
We do, but remember, I'm newer to it. I
Okay.
only started last June, and because I was teaching and all of that, I still haven't totally gotten involved in the local arena, and I'm working on it. But yeah,
She's
this
also in Michigan, Ryan.
Oh, okay.
yeah, and I'm in Michigan. Yep.
Gotcha. I don't personally use the products, but I do hear and have personally seen exactly what you've already described. My one friend I think a year older than I am, and she was having like hair growth problems for a long, long time, and like she swears by this. I mean, she has Monet everywhere in her bathroom vanity and everything like that.
I'm so
So,
impressed you do. Like, beyond.
and the thing is that a lot of like the newer what am I saying? Like the up and coming, really like younger, like hair salons and things are using it as part of their brand too. Like they supply their salons with this brand because, like I said, we're only 5 years old. So a lot of the older salons and things haven't heard of it, but I'm working on getting them to learn about it. But this hair care brand is more known in like the younger um, age group. So
a lot of people, Brian, they advertise it on their social media. So I'll see it on Instagram stories.
I haven't seen it at all until I met Chelsea late January at our holiday after party. And
Do you
usually,
have an Instagram?
I'm sorry?
Do you have an Instagram? Okay.
I don't. Usually, once you see that yellow car, right, that you buy, and no one ever has that car, and now you see that car everywhere. That's usually how it happens with me, is once I get exposed to a brand, I start seeing it everywhere.
Yeah.
No. Speaking of seeing things everywhere, Chelsea, thank you. I think first and foremost, that was very enlightening for me. We've had some time to talk. I got to learn some new things today. I wasn't sure. I was unaware of the impact of the hair aspect, which for a female, again, is pretty phenomenal. Back in my day when I took phone calls, I don't want to say sold, but I had conversations about another specific product. I can't remember what it is, if I'm honest with you. And I think I might have taken like 2 or 3 calls of this. Now, during this time, I also sold Beachbody products. Right, Dance Country USA. I was selling, 4 DVDs for $19.99. I did the Brazilian butt lift. I did the Little Giant ladder. I mean, all of those things. Well, I took like 4 calls for this product, and after that 4th call, I said, "I'm done. I cannot take these calls anymore." I always believed in what I sold. Right now, I might have fabricated some facts. Like, my wife never did the Brazilian butt lift, okay? No. But I believed in the product, right? I could not have a conversation with a female as she was crying to me about her 30-year-old hair loss problem and tell her to put this serum on her head. I just couldn't do it. I think that's one of those very personal conversations. You know what I mean? And I never tried the product, so I couldn't say if it works even now or if it doesn't. I don't know. But I couldn't have those conversations. I couldn't. So hats off for you. I think that says a lot of who you are, especially in being approachable and having those conversations, because that's real talk, So if anyone needs to get a hold of you, Chelsea, how do they do that? I believe you might have a group of some sort.
I do. Yep. So I do have like my public group on Facebook. So Chelsea Enriquez, you see it up there. But I do have a more of a personalized, it's not a business group, although I do talk about my sales and the products, but we have some different, like, just talking about mom life, talking about my talent for thrifting, talk about my non-talent for baking or decorating or different things. So it's more like a mom empowerment group, but then I use it also to talk about the sales and the products. So that's called Channel Your Best Life with Chelsea on Facebook. And then I do have an Instagram as well, and that's just my name backwards. So that's Enriquez Chelsea.
Perfect. Let's make sure you reach out to Chelsea, send a message. I'm sure her contact information, email, and so forth is there as well. I've been a part of that group for about a month and a half, 2 months. Gosh, no, longer than that. Probably since early February. It's engaging conversation. It's sometimes, not all the time, I do go looking at it before I start my TikTok, right? Just to see what kind of inspiration is going on as I'm going through my nightly routine. So make sure you reach out. Channel Your Best Life with Chelsea. Again, Chelsea, thank you so much for kind of giving us the 411 on that piece. So you have some more time to join us in the rest of the conversation?
Yep, that would be
awesome.
Great.
Let's talk about what's on TV. Everyone is talking about Tiger King. Have you seen Tiger King, Ryan?
I did. So I did just start it 2 nights ago. Okay. I know it's been maybe a week that this hype's maybe a week or even more that this hype's been like, you see it everywhere. You see memes about it. Yeah. 2 weeks. So I was kind of skeptical at first. I was waiting to see what people said and thought or whatever. I had asked some friends. I was just like, have you seen this? Is it worth watching? And so I was like, yeah, what the heck? I'm going to start it. And it kept me wanting to watch more for sure. It was very interesting.
The whole Sunday. We spent the whole Sunday watching it, 7 episodes. Chelsea, have you watched it?
I did. I didn't realize what you were talking about before, but yes, we watched it.
Okay, so
I know.
I
need part 2. Okay, we need part 2.
I hear there's another episode coming out. There's like one new episode coming out or something.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, he has COVID.
He does?
A couple days ago, he got rushed to the hospital because he has COVID.
I knew that the jail he was in, they had a case there, and that I don't know if it was his ex-husband was wanting him to get out of there or something like that. Is what I read.
Yeah. Which ex-husband?
All of them.
So look, I am all about love, right? But who invites their dead husband's mother to their wedding with the 4 people?
Oh my gosh, yeah, and she thought it was like
Who goes? Who goes? Like, who says, oh yeah, I want to go. Let me stand in the swamp.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
And he met the guy on Grindr. 2 days later, he proposed to him.
Oh yeah, yep.
Well, he's making his rounds right now. He is on videos and TV shows. So he's getting his fame.
I wonder if is he making money from this?
Oh, I don't, that's a good question. Because everything was burned down in the recording studio. So, I mean, like.
That's the thing is the guy that's narrating it in the actual show, is he the one that approached Netflix and has put this on? Or, like, who is
somebody.
Where's all this film coming from and who's making all the money?
I thought it was all destroyed when the fire happened.
Apparently not. Apparently there was like a video person taking video of the video person.
So let's ask these questions. First, let's talk about Carol. Okay? Good kittens and good cats. Let's talk about Carol. So I kind of feel bad for Carol. And this is why I know. This is why I feel bad for Carol. Because they positioned that movie to put her in the good light, I feel. And it didn't work. Like, she is just getting...
No, it didn't work.
It did not work. The whole... Did she kill her? Did the tigers eat her husband?
Well, of course they did. Of course.
I think so.
And her current husband, who is just... like...
My thing is where is she in hiding right now that this is all aired?
Right.
There's no way she's out in the public. There's
right.
no way. That poor lady would get harassed so bad.
Yeah. I love the memes on Facebook. I think they are hilarious, especially now that I understand them. So they're even,
Oh my God, I have to pull up a picture. I wonder if I can show it on the camera, but there's this video game streamer who looks similar to the Tiger King. And it's so funny. I'm going to try and find the picture while we're on.
I love when the parents are cutting their kids' hair like his.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
gosh. He's going to I guarantee Halloween next year, or this year.
Oh.
This is it. I wonder if you can see it.
Oh, we can.
But
it's very glamour shots.
This is a gamer, though, that looks just like him. Like,
oh my goodness.
Mullet and everything. I thought that was funny.
When all the salons and everything closed, they did a meme of like, hey, this is me doing my own haircut now. So they're like, make sure you wait for your stylist.
Oh, yeah, I'm waiting. I'm not touching. I only touch from here up. From the neck down, it is all still dirty and grimy. I ain't messing it up. Okay, I can't afford to. I'm all about...
I've just been intrigued with how, like, documentaries, the film industry, and how all that works in regards to, like, compensation. Like, I can't imagine he's not making any money when it's his life is in the spotlight. You know what I mean? I feel like he could then sue. Like, if he didn't give the rights to it, couldn't you, like, I don't know. How does that work? Like,
I'm sure everything has been signed off. But here's my question. Is the other guy, Jeff, right, that has the girl that's pregnant and he doesn't even know if he wants to be with her anymore?
Oh, yeah.
Like, what is he like? How many? I think he set Joe up. I think he set Joe up. I don't
Oh,
think.
is that the one with the messed up teeth?
They all had messed up teeth.
I was gonna say, remember they're all into meth, so they all have messed up teeth.
The tattoos everywhere, dude. Like.
Tattoos, yeah.
Oh gosh, I don't know. I think I know who you're talking about though.
Yeah, I don't know.
He was the first guy, and then the 19, 20-year-old came along.
That was
right?
Travis. Travis was the one that had no interest. He just wanted to shoot things.
Jeff's the other one, right?
And
Jeff is the one that came in and bought the zoo.
Oh, that other guy. Okay, no. Yep, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he was in Vegas, and he would sneak the animals in suitcases into their rooms.
Yep.
So there's another movie out there. Now, this is a couple years old, longer than a couple. Have you guys watched Making of a Murderer? That's Stephen Avery.
So my husband he just finished. No, he thought it was the last episode last night, but this is his second time watching both seasons.
I've watched it twice too because I'm like, oh, I learned new things. So good. Now, they came back 10 years later and showed the after effect of that as well. So there are like two different parts. Ryan, that's a good one too. Any other TV shows that you guys are watching? Grey's Anatomy shut down early. Are you a Grey's fan? No, Ryan?
No.
Chelsea? Oh. Well, thank you so much for being our guest today. That is the end of the show. I love Grey's.
Hello?
I love Grey's.
I think I might have watched a few episodes of the first season, like when I was 15.
Got it. So like 4 years ago? I mean,
long time ago.
I could never get into it. I just could never get into it. I don't know why.
Some of these shows, they go on for so long, and it's just so repetitive. Like, they need to end while they're on top and not just keep going and go. Like, Grey's Anatomy, you can't tell me it's not the same thing over. It's just medical stuff after medical stuff after medical stuff. Someone's a superhero. Someone dies. Same thing over and over. And then so-and-so character gets kicked off the show. It's just like The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead was one of the most watched shows ever, and they just kept lingering it on and on and on and on. And it was the same thing. They would kill off a main character, and then they would
Do you think that reboots are hurting that too? You know, Will and Grace 20 years later came back, and they were on for 5 years. Then you have The Connors. You know, so, I mean, other than The Connors, do you guys watch The Connors?
Mm-mm.
No.
Did you watch Roseanne?
No, but I know what you're talking about.
It's it's got a good voice.
But I think that's why The Office has never done a reboot, because they don't want to ruin what they had before. Like, everyone loves The Office original, and if they all were to come back, and if it's not as good as it was before, because everyone's going to have that, you know, they're going to compare it, and then if it's not as good, it kind of like, okay, now what? They end on a low rather than just everyone loves it so much, you know?
Yeah.
So, smart. I think it's super, super. What's the other one? Friends? Friends hasn't come back, have they?
They're doing one on Showtime.
Yep. Is it already out?
No, not yet. But it's supposed to be like on Showtime or HBO or some subscription piece that they're gonna do. Just a show, not a series.
Oh, so it's gonna be a little kind of different.
Saved by the Bell's coming out. Do you know what Saved by the Bell is, Ryan? Chelsea, do you know what Saved by the Bell is?
Well, I know the show.
Okay.
I know it, but I never really watched it either.
I'm aging myself here.
I remember again, I don't watch much TV.
Yeah, this was back in the 90s, though.
I think
Before you were probably born, Ryan.
I think nowadays a lot of it is Disney Plus, Netflix, Hulu. Like,
yeah. Are you watching Disney Plus?
I don't have it. My brother has it, but yeah, when I have the opportunity, I love Disney Plus.
Who do you have for your phone company, Ryan?
Verizon.
You get Disney Plus for free if you have unlimited plan.
Yep.
Oh, we don't have unlimited.
There you go. You don't get it then.
Yep. So probably a good thing,
But
though, because
I think it's only like $12 a month or something. I think.
Oh yeah, it's not that much.
The streaming services are all smart business people now, because it's like Netflix used to only be $9.99, and it had some Marvel, some Disney, some of everything. Well, then now everyone's branching out. Hulu came up, so Now it's $9.99 for Netflix, whatever it is for Hulu. Now it's this for Disney Plus. So now, after having all the services to see everything again, how much are you spending? Like $50?
Yeah, I mean, so we have Amazon Prime.
Okay.
So we get TV through there and shows. We have Netflix. So that's $17.
You have the one where you can watch it on multiple TVs though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we also have Hulu. We spend $14 on that because we have no commercials. Right. And then we have our Roku, which is free. And we get to watch a couple different things there. And I feel like I have something else. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, we spend $30-$50 for sure on TV, which is again cheaper than cable.
But still, right? Because you for cable, you're paying like 150. Some people pay $200 a month.
My mom's cable bill is $350 a month. Now, in saying that, she doesn't go anywhere. That's her thing, right? She just watches, although she watches the same show. It's not like she watches all these channels. But at the end of the day, $350. And
I think the hardest part is not TVs and movies now. What because we've thought about making the switch from cable to these streaming services. It's like the sports channels. We don't know where a good outlet is to get like sports. Like my stepdad is super into, college football, college basketball, and he grew up in Florida, so he likes the SEC. But up here, it's hard to get. So that's our struggle. Is like we pay for cable right now, so he's able to watch those.
Got it. Yeah, I get that. I mean, you just got to figure out what you like and what you want, and kind of go from there. So.
Yeah,
where are you at, by the way? You're in a different setting.
One more time?
Where are you at, by the way, in your house? You're in a different setting.
I am in between the kitchen and the living room.
Okay.
I'm usually in the family room, but Susan was on a call over there, so I just set up over here today. My furnace is what behind me, and then that's my orange wall in my living room because I love orange, not because of Big B coffee.
Are you sure about that?
Not because of Tiger King.
Right, and not because of Tiger King. Oh, good old Tiger King. You're right. That's gonna be the costume. That will be the costume of the year.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
I think so.
Well, have you guys done any planning for like when this is all over? Any vacations? Anything that you guys are doing? Yeah, us too. So prior to this, we had games to see the Pistons in April, and then we had a concert to see Walk Off the Earth. Both of those things have been postponed. We don't know about the basketball game, but the concert got postponed until August. And then through this madness, for my birthday, Susan was very kind and got me Vegas tickets. So we're flying to Vegas in September, and we're going to see Kelly Clarkson. So I'm pretty excited about that. Right? Yeah. And then I think we're going to Circus.
Cirque du Soleil.
That'd be it. So we're gonna have a nice little getaway in September, pending nothing else is crazy. What about you guys? Any trips planned or any ticket spot?
Chelsea?
Well, the only one ticket that we bought that is getting postponed is at the Stranahan we bought for the Lion King.
Oh.
So, and I was super pumped because I've always wanted to see it, of course. But they said it would be postponed. So
I've heard a lot. I've heard that a lot.
That's a moneymaker. I can't imagine that. I mean, that's a pretty big moneymaker as a whole. I love the Lion King, so it's one
thing I did hear under the radar. I think I don't know if it's been confirmed or not, but why am I drawing a blank? What was the big play on Broadway this last year? Oh, why am I drawing a blank? It was huge. Like
Hamilton? No, that wasn't this year. Though.
Yes, it's coming to the Stranahan. It was 2 years
Hamilton's
ago.
Coming?
I think so. I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
I'm gonna look that up. Jackson would love to go. He has been all about the Hamilton soundtrack for the last 3 weeks.
Someone that I know has like the season ticket through the Stranahan where they can like see all the shows, and I think it was like leaked to them that it's coming next year, and that's gonna be one of the shows.
Oh wow, that will be huge.
Yeah,
that will be huge.
Did any of you guys? I mean, do you guys know how much tickets were for
the opening? Sorry, Kelsey. Hamilton is coming, will premiere as part of the 21-22 seasons. So,
Okay.
Hamilton, Jackson will be happy. He probably won't even know who
Yay.
Hamilton is in another year and a half.
Yeah.
Well, Dad, just be prepared for the price tag on it, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're probably looking at easily $1.25. 80
Yeah,
to $1.25, not including fees.
I think it'll sell out pretty fast too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will. Well,
So I'm just looking forward to going boating, if that's even possible. I hope it is, but
I just heard they closed the Maumee River entrances.
yeah. So I know they did
Still
that.
get it from
so
Everyone froze.
so they're actually closing all of the fairs this year too. I heard
Yeah,
they're not going to be doing a lot of the fairs.
Cherry Fest in White House, I know, got postponed, but I heard that the rivers closed because they feared for like fishing season, having like all the fishers, like the fishermen come in. Yeah, Brian is frozen on my screen. I don't know about yours.
I know, mine too.
Brian, you're frozen, my friends, but that's a great screenshot of you pointing.
Right.
Yeah, no,
he's
I'm
probably
just
trying to-
worried. I'm just worried that with boating. Now you're back. Okay, we just can't hear you. Unmute your mic. Your mic, Brian.
Unmute.
There you
Sorry,
go.
I'm
There
back.
we go.
I don't know what happened. I'm so sorry.
Nope, you're fine. It was a great.
That's okay.
It was a great view of you, just like.
All right.
But no, I just am worried that with them closing the rivers, like A, how long is that going to last? And then B, are they going to do the same for when boating season comes because they're worried about people, gathering on the river or something?
Well, you remember, Ryan, last year I started, and by starting, I think we did it 3 times. Water rafting.
Oh yeah.
Worst first experience of my entire life. I thought, hey, why don't we go to this area that is no more than knee deep and we'll work this out, him and I. It literally was the worst experience. I think like tutoring or teaching, there might have been some tears that were shed that day as well.
I'm sensing a theme. This is not good.
I'm a crier, okay? We all know this. I cry. Well, listen, Chelsea, it has been a pleasure to hang out with you today. Ryan, as always, it's cool to be able to kind of hang out and feel you. Had a great show today. Lots of information, right? Things that I picked up. Any nuggets for you, Ryan?
Not really, no, it's crazy. I think these weeks are flying by. I told my mom it's already a week into April. I can't even believe it.
Easter is Sunday.
It's crazy.
I feel bad.
Less than a month of school left, and I'm done.
I feel bad for the candy industry this year. Think of how that affects them. You know what I mean? There's going to be so much candy that is overproduced right now. Because listen, at the end of the day, because we're not out and about, we're not seeing the culture of Easter. That stuff isn't done. Or just take one church from every state, just one, that drops Easter eggs.
I think individual families, though, might do more this year, Brian, because they have their home and they have time.
I'm seeing candy on sale already. I mean, I'm seeing overstocked in the stores where people
Really?
are buying it. Chelsea, what?
I think so because right now too they're really putting a smack down. They're saying do not go to the grocery stores, do not. I mean, it's getting even tighter. Like people can't even go out and be exposed to any of it.
Unless you live in South Dakota. Did you see that the mayor is not infringing on her citizens' wishes? That's their choice if they want to go out. She has not enforced the lockdown.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
I just saw Wisconsin. I just read it is still going to go through with their elections.
Okay.
I don't know.
We'll see how this goes down because now they're talking about a countrywide lockdown. So who knows?
Look, this is my thoughts, and then we're going to wrap this up. I don't want to take too much more of you guys' time. 3 months from now is when it's going to be bad, guys. We don't know. Like I said, from all the sanitizer to our hands, it's just going to be.
Do you think it's ever going to get to a point there where it's going to be so, like, we're going to be doing this for so long that eventually people are just going to be like, look, we've tried everything, and at this point, we just want to live our lives? My friend was mentioning that the other day. He's like, I feel like it's going to be so drawn out, and, like, the process is going to take so long that people are eventually just going to be sick and tired of just sitting at home and not living, that they're going to be, what else can we do? We've literally sat inside.
I don't think it will go on. I think that we're into this mess until August.
Yeah.
I see a lockdown until probably June, give or take. But it is what it is. But listen, I appreciate you guys' energy today. I appreciate your guys' showing up. Other than that, you folks have a phenomenal day. Be safe, take care, and we appreciate you.